Well, after some more working on this thing, I think I finally have this thing finished up and ready to work for more than 30 minutes or so at a time between all the test runs I've given it this afternoon. I ran this thing probably the longest I ever have. Easily ran it 30 minutes. Heck, it might have been 40, 45 minutes. But this morning, I had a mishap. The inline fuel filter coming off that fuel tank collapsed in on itself, the inner portion of it, with the fabric. I'm guessing there's just debris and stuff in that tank, even though I drained it before I ran this thing. I guess it's just going to have to work all of itself out. Went uptown, got a new filter, put it on, ran, perfect after I did that. Another thing I've done is I've raised the blades up 2 notches, because before they just were not digging into the wood enough. And those are used blades on it, so they are worn down a little more than new ones would be. And well, let me show you. I got this thing pretty much full for the most part, as full as I can get it without the shavings blowing back out again. I'm gonna stick my phone up here and yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but truck is pretty much full to the brim except this very back portion with the door open, blowing these shavings into the back. Of course, once you pretty much get this thing full, it's like blowing them into a wall. They just bounce right back out. So I've probably got around, I'm gonna call it 14 yards in there, going off of the dimensions of the truck bed. And if it's full to the brim, to the top of them boards, and yeah, should be 14 yards worth. If I had these, piled up somewhere, I could take a machine and fill that little portion in and get 15 yards. And since they're blown into this truck, they are packed in there very tight. I was up there on the top, walking around on the tarp. They're blown in there pretty tight. So this thing, show you what's in the box. I've found out that putting pieces of wood in here that are shorter than this box is a recipe for creating missiles. So when this box is moving backwards, the blades spin counterclockwise. So when the box is moving that way, the blades grab the wood and shoot it that way also into the back of that box. And it was moving this chunk of log right here. This was a pretty stout log before I threw it in here. And you can see the gap right there. It's got, I don't know, a 2-foot gap or so. So I stuck the shorter one in there so it wouldn't have any room for that big piece to move back and forth. Well, short little pieces like that don't work in these shavers. They just bounce around in here, they blow apart, they make wood chips, they don't shave, and it's a big huge hassle, and that idea didn't work out. So I found that putting pieces in here about near as long as this whole box, 8'6", is pretty much the perfect thing you want to put in here. Logs, you can put a big one in here, a couple smaller ones in here. As long as they're about near the length of this box, where there's no really room for them to move back and forth. Now the blades aren't super sharp. They are sharp, but if they were sharper, they would probably cut through the wood easier when it's moving back and not grab as much. And it's crazy. It grabs a piece of wood and shoots it up against the back of that box. And it'll, bam, it sounds like, it's very loud. I'll put it that way. But, yeah, it was, once this thing's going forwards into that blade there, it spits the shavings out. It didn't take no time really to fill the back of that truck up. Before I done all this today to it, It was probably a quarter away to almost halfway full. Then I filled it up the rest to make it look like that. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing works. It's kind of violent being next to this thing while wood's getting jostled around in that box, and it's loud. I guess it'd be like standing next to a tub grinder or a horizontal grinder. These things that eat up wood, any kind of machine like this is violent to be around. So you gotta be careful. I had a chunk shoot out and went out there past that engine. So last portion of this load I created, pretty happy with the results.